Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the New York Market Scholar session. So good to have each and every one of you around for it. Please, if you can hear me, kindly type in chat box to confirm that you can hear me. All right. Thank you so much for confirming that. So I will be starting off with the XY, GBP USD and Euro USD. Right after that, Liko coming up for his own analysis on gold and the yen basket. So on the XY monthly time frame, nothing has really changed. The sweep of this liquidity and the same price selling further. And on the weekly time frame, on the weekly time frame, we're seeing price check out this very low, and we're seeing even further sales to the downside. Coming down to the daily time frame, we saw price, checking out this very low, right? Ideally, we should expect more sales on the XY. In the 4-hour time frame, favoring this most recent swing from point A to point B right here. We wanted to see price to trade either into 61.8% fib level or 78.6% fib level. But what we're seeing price do right now is price traded into 50% fib level, and it's looking like it's holding off this very point right here. And on the 1-hour time frame, based on my base strategy, all I will do is actually, mark this very second candle of the base and then narrow down to my 5 minutes time frame to see if a variation pattern has been formed. That hasn't happened yet for us to keep selling the XY. Although our bias this morning was a sell of the XY and a buy of other pairs, then as seen right here, price didn't really respect what we wanted to see it do, because as my speculation this morning was once price trades into this very left shoulder, I expected more sales, right? So price just tapped into this level and we saw this, right? But then it looked as if there was a box pattern failure right here, and instead we're seeing more buys and push to the upside. And of course, there's an explanation for it. Price just wants to retrace into some premium level before selling all the way down to GBP USD. So basically, sell analysis for the XY actually failed, right? Actually failed because we saw more buy printout on the XY instead of sell. And of course, we know why now. Price just wanted to retrace into some premium level, which is either 50% fib level, 60%, 61.8% fib level rather, or 78.6% fib level. And on the XY monthly time frame, most recent price action, we've seen a break of this very high right here, although the overall direction is to the downside. And on the weekly time frame too, pretty much seen a break of this very high at 1.34142, right? And narrowing it down to the daily time frame, if I'm going to be fibbing from point A to point B, we want to see price retrace into 61.8% fib level, because actually coincide with this very other block right here. So we may see price retracing all the way before continuing its buy to the upside. For the daily time frame, we actually fibbed this most recent swing from point A to point B during the New York session, London session, I beg your pardon. So after fibbing this swing, we wanted to see price retrace into some discount level, right? Seemed as though price held at 60% fib level and wanted to keep buying, but all we saw, or all we're seeing right now, is we're seeing even more push to the downside. Where am I speculating that price will most likely trade into? Price should trade into 78.6% fib level. So Mr. Shea actually called my attention, but I think I was done with the analysis this morning that he was willing to sell GBP USD. So of course, I'm speculating and assuming that it is a short-term sell, of course. It is a short-term sell. And on the 1 hour time frame also, the 1 hour time frame, I actually saw something like this. Shoulder right here at 1.35214, sweep to the downside. We eventually saw a break to the upside. All we want to see price do is trade into this very left shoulder at 1.35203, and once price holds off this point and I see price trading off this point, I see price trading to this point rather, I'm willing to keep buying GBP USD. I'm still looking out for buy opportunities, and this sell is just short term for price to trade into this very level. So into next week, I will be looking out for buy opportunities. So our buy bias for GBP USD actually did not hold, and Mr. Shea was actually in the right direction. On the monthly time frame for Euro USD, we are seeing even more push to the downside, the sweep of this very liquidity all the way, right? And on the weekly time frame too, fibbing this most recent swing, this swing right here, we want to see where price held from. So price traded into 50% fib level, held off this point on the weekly time frame, and we're seeing buy opportunities, the buys that have already taken place. And of course, on the daily time frame also, right, this high was taken after every expansion. We expect to see some retracement. So I will be fibbing this swing right here. This is the most recent swing on daily time frame. So all we want to see price do is retrace at least into 61.8% fib level, or further into 78.6% fib level. And once that happens, I'm willing to continue taking buy opportunities on Euro USD, and even for the 1 hour, 4 hour time frame. I beg your pardon. Fibbing this most recent swing, right? Of course, price is, price just wants to trade into this very other block right here. So that block right here. So once price taps into this very level, I'm willing to continue, taking buy opportunities on Euro USD, and same thing for the 1 hour time frame also. Yeah, right. So I actually saw this morning. Saw that price had traded into 50% fib level, and I saw this base being formed, and all I did was to mark this week. So narrowing down to my 5 minutes time frame, I was expecting to find some sort of variation for me to, pull the trigger for a buy in Euro USD. And I didn't really see that yet. It hadn't formed. Narrowing down to the 3 minutes time frame too, looking out for a variation pattern. This is not so clear. I wouldn't regard this as a variation pattern. So see that there was no bullish variation being formed after the break of structure on the 5 minutes time frame. There was no point taking the buy on Euro USD. Instead, we're seeing more sell opportunities. And of course, price just wants to trade into some fib level and continue its direction all the way to the upside. Basically, our analysis for today on Euro USD, GBP USD, and the XY did not really hold. I'm sure Mr. Shea made a lot of money saying that he was on the sell side. Right. Please, if you have questions at this point, if you have questions at this point, kindly type in chat box, or if you're seeing the different bias from what has been analyzed, also type in the chat box before Lincoln comes up for his analysis on gold and precious metals. And I'd like to use this opportunity to announce that the ATM cash flow training will be taking place tomorrow from 10 a.m. And you still have the grace to register if you're interested in learning how to trade the synthetics market. Such into my granite. All right, sir. Let the granite reach us in Market Color Group. Okay, without further ado, we'll be going on a very short break and Lincoln will be coming up for his analysis. Enjoy your weekend. Do not go anywhere. We're coming back shortly. Cheers and God bless.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Good afternoon and welcome back to the Market Color brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team. Right now, we are going straight into the analysis of the precious metal and also the yen basket and then the yen correlated pairs. Right about now, as we can see, how that the precious metal gold, just triggered our entry, which is for the sell. Price just triggered the entry, which is for the sell. And how do we determine that? We have that markup since morning that we expect price when as it already take out liquidity from this particular level, and we expect it to begin to push a little bit down since it already take out this high. So we expect price to take trade more further to the downside. All right. So but right now you can see how that price is pushing. So it triggers somewhere here, and we still expect more of it to come all the way towards the Asian low. So that is our analysis for the precious metal this afternoon. All right, so let's see how this plays out, how price plays out within this zone, within that particular level, with our stop loss just above the Asian high, just where we have it here. So that is it for the precious metal majorly. And if we look at 15-minute time frame too, price just get to that zone. And right now we are in. Peradventure you've not entered the trade, this may be the time you want to consider, taking the trade, or if you just want to wait till price move further down. All right, so that is it for the precious metal. Imagine since morning you've been waiting for a trade to make to show up before you execute. Okay, so that is that for the precious metal moving forward. All right, so let's quickly get to the yen basket to see what is happening on the yen basket itself. If you look at the yen basket right from the higher time frame, we expect it to be, this week to be a buy week, but we see it, yes, it pushes all the way to this level. But today being Friday, we see how price has been selling since the London session, and this being the beginning of the New York session, we are seeing that price, we expect more of price to rally for the yen basket, which should and in all ways, give more room for the yen correlated pairs to sell more. All right. Right now, if we go and look at how we were able to analyze this morning for GBP JPY, we are going to observe we have the same thing. We are expecting more sales of GBP JPY. And if you look at JPY even on the lower time frame, particularly the 1 hour time frame, the reason why we want to sell just few hours ago, price triggered the sell just the way we have it this morning, and we expect more of it towards the downside for price to come all the way and take out liquidity around this level. So this would be the TP of GBP JPY. And if you look at it from the 15-minute time frame, we've already seen our signature already at that zone, and that is why we are pushing all through to sell to the downside. Okay, so in case you've not joined the sell of JPY, you may still want to give it a try, because right now price is already moving for GBP JPY just the way we analyzed during the London session. We expect it to sell more all the way for the New York session too. And now from GBP JPY all the way to AUD JPY. For AUD JPY, what we are still seeing is price, still moving around. It has not really gotten to our POI. This is our POI where we expect to sell AUD JPY itself, but price has not really gotten there. So we may just want to just take that of GBP JPY and allow price to move. But for the other yen correlated pair, reason, this morning we established the fact that GBP JPY happens to be the most lagging right now. So that is why we are taking it first. And that's why you see it take the move first for the sell. Why for the other yen correlated pair, AUD JPY is yet to get to its own level where we want to sell it from. Why for Euro JPY, EJ, if we look at it, let's quickly check Euro JPY. We are going to observe too, for Euro JPY, it has also not gotten to the level 2. So this is for Euro JPY. Now, could that happen today? Yes, very, very possible for us to see the sell of Euro JPY happen today. However, there is high probability for it to be maybe at the open of the market next week, since today, this is just the beginning of the New York session, though we may still see price, enter here. But will it deliver all this for the rest of this day? That is not very certain and not very sure. All right, but for next week, in case if price did not get to our POI this afternoon, then that means for next week from Monday, we are going to resume the week by selling Euro JPY. So just set your markup and watch it all through that level. All right, so that is for Euro JPY and also the other yen correlated pair. All true. Okay, if there's further question, let me know in the chat box so we can easily follow through. All right. Someone said, on gold, where is the preferred TP? Yes, our first TP for gold, we are looking at, shorting all the way to the Asian low, this particular level for gold. However, the overall move is towards the trend line, which is towards this particular zone. This particular level here is what the overall move, where I'm still viewing the short of the precious metal too. All right, this particular liquidity level here is where I'm still expecting it to get to. However, we can still see it, push after clearing the Asian low. Then we may see some level of pushback a bit. Okay, but overall, we are still expecting it to, first let this be our first take profit. This is going to be our first point of take profit. We want to exit maybe some position when price gets here and leave the rest to run. Now, will it run all the way to this level today? It may not. It may not. It may and it may not. I've seen when gold does, this whole move within 2 hours before. And just for today being Friday, it may not. So you may just wait just for price to clear the Asian low, which is this particular liquidity point here. If price takes out this, you may offload your positions and enjoy your money for the weekend while we come back again Monday. Or if you want to swing the trade, then you may just offload some and allow the rest to run all the way down. All right, so that is that for the precious metal. Another question said, please, can GJ be selling even when AJ and EJ is buying? Yes, very, very possible. Now, for some while now, we've seen how that GJ is the one lagging a bit. Someone said, on GJ, what is the stop loss? Yeah, you are going to see it now. GJ is the one lagging a bit for some while now, if you look at it right from the higher time frame. So since it gets to its own POI first, there's high tendency we see start moving. And what we are going to see happen on the other yen correlated pair, particularly for AJ and EJ, is this: that first we may see it just consolidate, then start selling, or push a little bit up and start selling. But if peradventure they want to move together as in basket, then we are going to see GJ just complete their own move and they both collapse together at the same time. So that is said. What is the SL? SL for what? Sorry, please. Someone said, with the fundamental world news, how comfortable is selling gold? Yes, you are very correct. Yeah, you are very correct because of the war going on, and we know that gold is a safe haven asset because of the war. However, this is still more of a rumor in and out, in and out. So that is why you don't risk more than you can afford to lose, particularly. But looking at the structure that we have currently, then there's high tendency, we see it just go down. And that is why we are only targeting this as the first TP for the pullback. If it's for a war move, then imagine we can just see just one spike from nowhere, which is going to clear all the moves of today, and that is what we are expecting, and then begin its move all the way back up. But remember that what we are looking out for, particularly from the weekly time frame, is price respecting this trend line, and that is it on the daily time. This is it on the weekly time frame. So if that is going to be the reaction of the war, then that means we should still see some level of bounce from this trend line all the way to the upside. Okay, so that is what we should look out for. But that bounce coming back down is what we are also anticipating to see more of it. Okay, so that is it for the precious metal moving forward. Thank you very much, sir. Someone said, what is the SL on gold? Yeah, the SL on gold is just around the 3446 level, 3446. That is what we are looking at, 3446. Entry being around 3441 and SL being around 3446. That's just about 40 pips, 50 pips or so. Okay, for gold. No, 50 pips is not a very big thing for gold to do. Okay, it's not a very big SL for gold, knowing fully well its price action so far. Okay, so that is it for gold moving forward. All right, so if there's no further question, this is going to be the end of the market call brought to you by the Value Flow Trading Team for this week. To meet again on Monday, 8:30 a.m. is the time. Make sure you trade cautiously and use your proper risk management strategy. Once again, I'm Lekon Shemi. Cheers and God bless.